Hello, everyone, and welcome to Maundy Thursday. I know it doesn't seem like it, but today is the Thursday of Holy Week, and we are here to celebrate what God has to tell us in this day. And I got to tell you, it's official. I'm now officially missing my absolute favorite service of the year. We had such great plans for today. We were going to meet at Community Pizza for a dinner church where we were going to take communion as not just Wimberley United Methodist Church, but any and everyone who wanted to come be a part of it. We were going to let the kids play on the pirate ship playground and just be together in fellowship on this day. We had the menu picked out. We had live music lined up. We'd even figured out how to pay for it, which I got to tell you is a miracle in and of itself. And now we're still social distancing, sheltering in place, and doing this at home or virtual church, which, we've been doing this for a few weeks now, and it's not bad. It's not ideal, it's not what we want, but it's essential right now, and it's necessary right now. And I firmly believe that God can make this not just an okay experience, but a good experience for us on this Holy Week, on this Maundy Thursday. So as I have been over the past week or so pivoting into our current Holy Week reality, I've been reflecting on the meaning of Maundy Thursday. And I learned something that I probably should have known before and somehow missed, but still found really interesting. The word Maundy, Maundy, the first word of this two-word entitled day of Holy Week. Maundy means command in Latin. It comes from the same word as the word in English mandate. It literally means something that we are ordered to do and something that we are following that someone else has stated to us. The central focus of this day in the life of the church is John 13, the story of Jesus washing his disciples' feet. At the beginning of the meal where they will celebrate the Passover, Jesus grabs towel and basin, kneels down, and begins to wash the feet of his disciples. Now, just a reminder, this is in first century Palestine. They're walking around, if they are shoed at all, in sandals at best. And they're walking on roads that they share with wagons, with carts, and with a myriad of animals. The washing of the feet before dinner was a necessary task, but it was also not a task anyone wanted to do. It was a task that was reserved for the lowest in the group, usually a servant or a slave, but if none were present, then whoever had the lowest station would take the role of washing everyone else's feet. And here we have a story of Jesus, the Son of God, the Messiah himself, bending down, taking on the role of a servant, and washing his disciples' feet. The story exemplifies what it means to serve in love, and it shows us that God does this for us. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop with God doing this for us. No, it continues to God saying, as I have done, now you must do as well. Just as I have served you, now you must go and serve others. That's what this day is supposed to be about. It turns out in the years I've been doing pastoral ministry, I've had the wrong, or at least slightly wrong, focus for Maundy Thursday. I've always focused on what happens after the foot washing, on the Last Supper itself, on the story of Jesus taking the Passover meal, praying over the bread, breaking it and giving it to his disciples and saying, take and eat, do this in remembrance of me. And then taking the cup, praying over the cup and giving it to them and saying, drink from this, all of you. This is the new cup of the new covenant. My blood poured out for you and for all for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in remembrance of me. I've always focused on that during this day, which isn't wrong, but it's not supposed to be the main priority of Maundy Thursday. No, the focus of Maundy Thursday is the remembrance of Christ's command, Christ's mandate to serve others, to lower yourself in order to raise others up. We see the way Christ does this. We hear Christ speak the words of command to the disciples and to us, saying, as I have washed your feet, go and wash the feet of others. Now, the truth is that there's no modern day equivalent to this task. There's no thing that we do or task that we take up in 2020 America that best resembles foot washing in first century Palestine. But even though we can't physically wash each other's feet and engage in this task in the same way that Jesus did, we can and we absolutely should find ways, especially right now, to serve each other in love. And I got to tell you, I am so excited and impressed to see the many, many ways that people within our community are doing this right now. In the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of sheltering in place, we are witnessing true forms of service. We are seeing true testaments of people reaching out in love to one another. And so I just want to share some of these with you because I think they're phenomenal. Over at Sugar Shack last Sunday, they had a community meal where they gave away 80 free meals to anyone in the community who wanted one. No strings attached, no cost involved. Just come pick up a meal out of love. Cactus Coffee has had a program running right now where you can sponsor coffee or meals to different families and different entities within the community. And so far, Cactus Coffee has had 120 meals for families sponsored. And they've given away so much coffee to people like H-E-B, Brookshire Brothers, to the law enforcement and EMS in town. People have just been going and giving money so that other people can receive sustenance and care. Over at Felicia's truck, which is one of my favorite food trucks in town, Felicia has given away 160 meals to families paid for by other people. As people come up and say, there are needs, fill them. And so she's been able to give away 160 meals. At Wimberley Cafe, people have been showing up and not just leaving a customary 15 to 20% tip, but leaving tips of $100 or more for servers that they know are not getting the hours that they need or receiving the tips that they need to pay for their family to eat as well. And H-E-B workers and Brookshire Brothers workers, many of whom are high school students, are placing their lives at risk every day, chancing catching coronavirus just to make sure that we have food, that we have toilet paper, that we have cleaning supplies, that our community is taken care of. Those are just the businesses in town and just a small portion of what is happening. Then you have things happening in the community that are just ways that people are reaching out in love to one another in phenomenal ways. Healthcare workers and emergency workers around Wimberley are pooling resources to make sure that everyone is as healthy and safe as possible, sharing unused masks and gloves and gowns with one another to make sure that those who are caring for us are able to care for themselves as best as possible. The Barnabas Connection had someone offer to match up to $25,000 to put in their emergency fund that they are using to help people in need right now during this shelter-in-place time. In fact, you can still give to that as well and help us reach that $25,000 goal. Teachers from around the school district are finding creative ways to educate and love on their students from a distance. finding ways to stay connected with them, to let them see their friends, to remind them that they are not alone and isolated during this time. And I just want to give a special shout out to Miss Mercord, James's first grade teacher. Miss Mercord, you're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you so much for showing such love and attention to my son. Within the church as well, there are amazing things happening. We have a group that is a dine and discussion group that has been doing regular meal delivery to 29 church members who are solo sheltering in place, bringing food to those who don't have anyone else with them during this time, and then staying very far back at the end of the driveway and talking to them as they pick up their meal from the door, so that they can remember that they're not alone, that people love them, and that the church is there for them during this time. We have people within the church and the community who are making masks for community members to wear as they go to H-E-B or Brookshire Brothers or anywhere else around town. If they have to be out, we know that they need to be masked at this point. And so I have been astounded by the number of people. I've seen hundreds of masks made just in Wimberley itself, just to be handed out for free to people in the community so that they might stay safe. I've seen amazing signs pop up all over the community, made of poster board or canvas, or just painted onto wall slats or even fences themselves, with encouraging messages for people within the community, saying things like, "You've got this, stay with it, COVID-19 ain't got nothing on you." We are a community that is reaching out in love and service to one another, and it is amazing to see take place. And it is seen nowhere better than in the way that our healthcare workers and emergency workers are going above and beyond to keep us safe and healthy. These are just a few ways where people within Wimberley itself are living out the command to love and serve each other, are living out Christ's command to wash each other's feet, to lower themselves so that they might raise everyone else up. For those of you serving in these ways, or maybe in a completely different way that I didn't even mention, first, thank you so much for all that you do. You are amazing. You are being Christ's hands and feet in the world right now, and I am in awe of you. If you haven't found a way to engage in this type of work yet, if you haven't found a way to be in service, especially right now as we're sheltering in place, I want to give you this challenge. Think of something that you can do, no matter what it is, no matter how small it might seem, to help someone else, to remind yourself, to remind those around you, to remind our community and our world that we are not alone during this time. Not only do we need it right now more than ever, Christ has commanded us to do so. On this Maundy Thursday especially, may we remember this. May we celebrate that Christ washed his disciples' feet, that Christ served them and called us to serve others as well. I love y'all. I miss you. Hope to see you soon. May God bless you. Amen.